Well, howdy. Welcome here once again to the Double M Farm. Just another little update on the farm pond in red. After all the teeth and everything were put back together and parts checked and greased, I stopped in the middle of the project degreasing because, well, you can see what I'm digging in. It's pretty wet and nasty, heavy. But what I really wanted to do with this video was show you the Harbor Freight towable trencher picking up these wet, heavy, dirt-filled stumps and loading them into the mini truck. So if you've got a trailer of any kind, don't hesitate to use it. The trencher will load it with no problem. I'm not sure, I haven't measured to see how high this is off the ground, but I'd say it's a good 3.5 feet off the ground to the top of the rail. Of course, the bed itself is about a foot lower, but you got to get over the rail. But if you notice, the secret is when you raise the boom up and then the dipper, you've got to extend it out to reach, which means you've got to curl the bucket as far as it'll go to keep from losing your load. And it works well. I mean, you saw it's easy to do. Now I'll pull around to a hole that I'm filling to dump that. And because of the stumps that are in there, I'll have to remove the tailgate. The tailgate's automatic and swings out, but obviously the stumps won't fit under the tailgate. So I'll just release the two top pins and take the tailgate off to dump that load. And then I'll come back, and what I had to do, I couldn't load Dumpy as I was digging on this particular job spot because I didn't have room. There's an old ditch there that I had to fill in. So I was using the dirt to fill it in. Now I'm going to push, as you saw, I'm going to take the bucket and push and rake this out level and fill in and pack. You can see the old ditch right there. And as I fill that in and pack it, then when I move the trencher in here for my next dig, I'll start there and dig back out this way. And hopefully I will be able to have this packed enough that I can back Dumpy right up there so that I'll be able to load him as I'm digging instead of having to pile it up and then dig it twice to put it in Dumpy. And the goal for this part of the project is to get this dug out up to those trees, and then I'll be going back over to the other side where this project first started, and I'm going to be removing those pine trees there so that I have more room, moving that dirt out of the way. I'm hoping by then that it has crusted enough that maybe I can back Dumpy down in there and load him. If not, I'll just have to use the backhoe to redig it and move it further over until I fill in over there next to that fence. But anyway, when I get that out of the way, then I'll start digging out that part and dig it out all the way level to this part. And that will be the end of phase one. And my wife and I have decided that we think what we're going to do, because summer has caught up with us and that is so thick in there right now, it's going to be hard to clean it out. So this big section here will probably be the end of phase one. And I'm thinking about throwing some maybe concrete bags. I usually use like 2x8s or 2x12s and stack them up to make a little dam. But I'm thinking because of the price of concrete, the price of lumber right now, I could probably get concrete cheaper. Thinking about throwing some bags in there to dam the creek up and go ahead and fill this part up. I can always remove them to drain it when I start digging again, but once I get this section done, it may be winter before I dig the second section because of how thick that is, and I don't want to get in there to clean it up, unless the goats happen to clean it up for me during the summer. But if I dam that and go ahead and fill this up, then at least we'll have something for the grandkids to play in. It's nice, cool spring water. And who knows, I may throw a few brim in there and see what they do. And then we'll worry about digging out part two next year. I have just got so many projects going. So it's taking a little bit longer than I originally hoped because of having to move the dirt so many times. But anyhow, I don't want to drag on. I appreciate you visiting us here on the Double M Farm. I'm going to go unload this load in Dumpy and then see if I can move a little bit more dirt before it gets too hot. My God, it's hot for May here in the foothills of the Blue Ridge Mountains. It's 90-something degrees here today at 12 o'clock. That's just too hot. That's July and August weather instead of May weather, but we'll deal with it. And again, I appreciate you visiting us here on the Double M Farm, and we'll talk to you again real soon.